So we're going to talk about the differences between volume and surface area. Okay, and what we may want to start with is understanding what kinds of shapes we can deal with when we're talking about volume and surface area. So the shapes that we're dealing with here are 3D shapes, and that's something that they have in common. They both deal with 3D shapes. We're talking about something like cubes or rectangular prisms or triangular prisms or spheres or cones, and there are a lot of 3D shapes that we can do dealing with volume and surface area. We're dealing with two separate things that both have a lot to do with 3D shapes. Volume specifically is in whatever units cubed, inches cubed, feet cubed, meters cubed, and surface area is still area, so we're dealing with squared. Okay, so if I wanted to find the volume of this cube, and the cube had side lengths in inches, what is my end result going to be? Let's just give it a number, 8 inches
cubed.
Okay, correct. If I was dealing with surface area in the same situation, let's say our surface area was 12 inches
Squared.
Okay, so there's a big distinct difference between surface area and volume. The other biggest difference is that if we talk about volume and we're talking about a box, we are dealing with all the inside of the box. We are dealing with how much the box can hold. And one of the things that we really like to talk about is water. So we can talk about if we had a box full of water or a container full of water, maybe a storage bin, how much water could fit inside of it. But the surface area is talking about the outside. So if we had our box here, we could talk about this side, this side, this side, and then there's a back side, a top side, and another, like an edge. Okay, so there's 6 different sides to this cube, and this is talking about like how much paint could cover it. Okay, so when we want to talk about the differences between volume and surface area, we're talking about how much the box can hold in terms of water or in terms of weight, and the surface area, we're talking about how much paint could cover it. So let's look at an example of volume in a cube. Now, volume in a cube is one of the easiest things of volume because a cube means that its sides have to be the same. So this is height, and this is width, and this is depth. So we have height, width, depth. And when we have volume, we're talking about length times width times height. So it's a little tricky to get the right verbiage down. Length, width, height. So maybe this would be considered length, width, height. Okay, so in a cube, this is very easy because we're going to end up having 3 cubed, or we could have 3 times 3 times 3. But the reason it's cubed is because this is a cube. So 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, and let's say this was inches, we'd have 27 inches cubed. But let's say we were talking about surface area, and we said 3, 3, and 3, we are going to find the surface area of the front and the back, the top and the bottom, the left and the right. And again, a cube is the easiest one to start with because there are 6 sides that have the same shape and the same numbers. This is a 3 by 3. This is a 3 by 3. This is a 3 by 3. So we have 6 3 by 3s. So we have 6 shapes that are together that have an area of 9. So we have 54 inches squared of surface area in this shape. So we want to recognize some of the differences between volume and surface area, where we talk about cubed versus squared, and we want to talk about volume is how much stuff can go on the inside, and surface area is how much stuff can go on the outside.